Welcome back to Kiwi Bred. New Plymouth scrap metal dealer Graham Meredith struck gold with his purchase of Zabeel mare Zarzino, who is now a Group 1 producing broodmare. We discussed her acquisition with Graham and his plans to now breed a Group 1 winner himself. New Plymouth scrap metal dealer Graham Meredith's success in breeding was always going to prompt the line, "One man's trash is another man's treasure." It's a little unfair to describe Zabeel mare Zarzino as Sir Patrick Hogan's trash, but it's history now that he sold her for $1,500 in foal to Tavistock, and new owner Meredith was able to sell the resulting foal for $400,000 when the colt's brother Tarzino became a Group 1 Victorian Derby winner.
At $400,000 buys him. All done. I cash him for $400,000. Thank you, one of those $400,000 buys him. Downstairs, Duncan Ravage. Thank you, Duncan.
This was racing's ultimate rags to riches story, but remarkably Meredith has revealed he would have preferred to have kept the colt rather than bank the money.
You sort of get a bond on these bloody things, you know. And they become part of the family. You just don't like letting them go.
When you bought Tarzino's mum, did it mean that you followed Tarzino right through his career?
Well, yeah, we have, since we bought her.
A mechanic by trade, Meredith only got involved in racehorses to provide an interest for his dying father. A chance purchase at the Kanaka mixed bloodstock sale means Zarzino is now residing at Meredith's property in New Plymouth.
My dad was dying in hospital, and he was watching a horse race. And it was the only thing that sort of had him interested for the last few weeks, you know, these horses. And I said to him, "Oh, I think I'll have to buy you one just to keep you interested." And he goes, "Oh yeah," just sort of laughed at me. And the next thing, one come up at the stable where Anna works, and so I said, "Oh, we'll lease it." So we leased that, and it did no good. And the old man's getting sicker and sicker, so he wasn't watching much TV. And as I went to leave one day, he said to me, "Hey boy, you better get rid of that horse. It's costing you too much money." So I said, "Yeah, righto." And then he died, and the horse was just put in the paddock. And one day, one of my friends come past to me and said how cruel I was, having one horse in a paddock. And I said, "Well, what are we going to do? I don't know where to get another horse." And he said, "Oh, my brother's going to the auction." He said, "I'll see what I can do for you." He said, "They go for $100 and $500. I said, "Oh, that'll suit me. We'll get a pet." And anyhow, the auction happened. He rings me and says, "Hey, we got you a horse." I said, "Oh, that's good." We bought her home. I had no idea, they had no idea how good she was really going to be.
Meredith hasn't touched the $400,000 he banked from the proceeds of the colt sale, and while he has grand ambitions for his newfound passion for bloodstock, he has no intentions on selling the Tavistock foals Zarzino is currently carrying.
Yeah, we'll just see what she drops this year, and we've already made our mind up, we're going to keep them. So we'll just see what happens.
You've gone back to Tavistock the last few years. I think you did have a bit of up and down though, didn't you?
Yeah, we lost one from Tavistock. That changed my whole, it made me come back to reality because it was a big roller coaster ride. Things were so easy. Pulled up in a hell of a hurry. And now we're just rethinking, we'll get this foal and see where we go from there.
How long have you been at this place?
15 years, 15, 16, yeah.
Yeah. So what got you into scrap metals?
Well, probably as a kid I did a bit of scrap to get a few bob.
Yeah.
And then, as I told you, I sold those couple of bits and pieces. Yeah. And then realised there was good money in it, so I continued.
But you haven't always been into scrap metal, have you?
No, no.
What did you do beforehand?
Oh, I worked on the rigs for about 15 years. I didn't have much time off, so I started the scrap yard to have a holiday, a bit of a rest.
Yeah, and obviously it's been something that you've come to love.
Yeah, forced to love. It just didn't stop coming in once I started. Yeah. I had to do something with it all. Yeah, it's pretty labour intensive. But now with all the machinery they got, it's just everything's done from diggers. What
about the horses? How do you go from scrap metal to horses?
I don't even know. I just do it. I don't even think about it. 3 o'clock comes, I've just got to go and feed them. Yeah. So that's how that works.
A
completely different avenues.
Oh yeah, totally. It's actually, yeah, it's from one extreme to the other.
As well as Zarzino and his paddocks, Meredith owns O'Reilly mare Flirting, her yearling filly by Ocean Park, and other young horses by Jimmy Shoe and Jackalbury. Meredith is the first to admit he's a novice when it comes to the horses, but with the benefit of his English-born partner and his experience, he is fast making up for lost time, and he loves pampering his star mare.
Mum gets a smorgasbord every day. She's on carrots, beetroot, haylage, hay, grain, whatever she wants.
Yeah, you look after her pretty well then.
She's the queen.
For what you do with the scrap metal, it's something that comes naturally and you know it inside out. You're a mechanic and obviously you do a lot of things at work. How was it with your approach with the horses?
Learning. I know nothing. As I said to you before, people say that horse looks nice and they all look the same to me. I couldn't tell the difference. I don't see what they see. It's a new challenge. But in metal, I see a different thing. I can see what I can do with it.
So what is it about the challenge of horses?
I don't know, they just appeal. Every horse is is not the same. They all look, they're all just different, but I like them all.
Is it going to be as big as the scrap metal business at some point?
The scrap metal business was just a hobby, the same as this, so the sky's the limit, who knows. So far we haven't done too bad.
We wish Graham all the best with his breeding plans with Zarzino. It's now time for this week's Pedigree of the Week, the Trent Busselton and Natalie Young trained Group 1 Australian Derby winner Tavago.
When Sir Patrick Hogan describes the Australian Derby as the Derby of Derbies, it's clear how highly he regards the race. It helps that he and his wife Justine Lady Hogan have now bred the winner of the Randwick Classic on 6 occasions. The Trent Busselton and Natalie Young trained Tavistock stayer Tavago added his name to the honour roll with a clinical 3.5 length win in this year's race, joining past Hogan bred or co-bred winners Sovereign Bred, Tristark, Octagonal, Don Eduardo and Fiumicino. Sir Patrick was delighted to secure his 12th Derby triumph of his career through Tavago, but just as delighted for his emerging star stallion Tavistock, who had earlier in the season taken Victorian Derby honours through another Cambridge stud bred in Tarzino, then later added the Hong Kong Derby through Werther. Monju stallion Tavistock ended the season on a tally of 4 individual Group 1 winners, with his oldest crop as 4-year-olds. Tavago hails from a family the Hogans have enjoyed much success with, having bred from it for more than half a century after buying Tavago's 7th dam, 1950-born Sweet Wren, at a deceased estate sale in foal to summertime. That resulting foal was Sweet Time, who left Australian Oaks and Caulfield Stakes winner Gay Poss. In more recent times, the family has produced Caulfield Guineas and Victoria Derby winner Grosvenor, who went on to a successful career at stud. Tavago's dam is the unraced Stravinsky mare Sarah Ann, a sister to Group 2 Winter Stakes winner La Cizeran, and part of a family littered with stakes performers, such as the Hogan-bred Group 1 West Australian Derby winner National Gallery, Zamoulin Rouge, Wegener Getcha, Imperial Lass and Estelle Collection, the dam of 5-time Group 1 winner Lankan Rupee. Sarah Ann has visited Tavistock for the past 2 seasons, with Sir Patrick indicating he would retain and race her yearling filly. Sir Patrick and Lady Hogan bred Tavago in partnership with their nephew John Kelly and his wife Chris. His pedigree boasts 2 strains of Nureyev through Stravinsky and Zabel, 4 of Nureyev's sire Northern Dancer, and 3 of his dams Special, as well as a 5x4 sex-balanced cross to Blushing Groom.
That brings to an end this week's show. Join us next week when we introduce the new sires on the block in New Zealand and visit Ray Knight, who has returned to the Waikato to run Navara Park. See you all then.